and good morning. This is Julie from Totally Holistic Health, and today I'm going to talk to you about stress. There's lots of different types of stress. Obviously most people are aware of emotional stress, which tends to be happens in day-to-day life. People throw a bit of a curveball at you, and obviously it can cause issues, and obviously you get the emotions that come through, and obviously that can cause you to feel depleted in energy. But there are other types of stress as well. You can have a physical stress. Now this tends to be when you if you have if you have an injury, or you suffer from aches and pains. Obviously that will cause the body to, you'll basically feel depleted in energy, and obviously that can cause an emotional stress as well, because the fact that you're actually in pain so much. So obviously everything is linked. There's also a chemical stress, which is either eating the wrong things or having an allergy to something that basically is causing your body to become stressed. So all these things are actually stressing the body. Now there are quite a few techniques that we can actually do to actually help this, and I'm going to quickly show you a really useful technique that will help with emotional stress, but particularly it's really good for people who have IBS that is triggered by stress as well, because of how it actually works. When your body suffers from a stress, whether it be an emotional stress, chemical or physical, basically what happens is the body goes into the fight or flight mode. And obviously in the sort of cavemen days, it was great, obviously, when we were fighting woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers and things. But these days we don't have that sort of opportunity to do that. We can't actually run away, even though possibly you might actually want to. So that stress actually stays within the body, and that's what actually causes the problems. Now what you can do is basically move the energy around your body. So what I'm going to show you is this little technique that actually will help. When you have a stressful, particularly emotional stress, basically what happens is all the blood, because you're in that fight or flight stimulus, comes from your head and goes straight down to obviously your legs if you're actually going to be doing running away, but normally around the stomach area. Now in sort of Chinese medicine and lots of Eastern medicines, the actual center or the core of the body actually tends to be where the emotional center tends to be, and this is basically where all the energy actually stays. And like when you're quite nervous about something and you get butterflies and stuff, it's basically exactly the same thing. All your energy is moved down to your stomach. So that tends to be why people have sort of stress related IBS, because basically all the energy is actually down in your stomach, and what you actually do need to do is basically bring it back up. Now this technique is really useful. So what it is, if you actually, just above your eyes, you've got a couple of knobbly bits there. Now these are actually called the frontal protuberances, or knobbly bits if that's easier. And what you need to do is, I tend to use 2 fingers and a thumb, and I just hold those points there. Now what this actually does, it actually brings the energy from that stomach. So rather than getting an emotional response to whatever that stressor is, it actually brings the energy up and actually to the head. So it's sort of like you get more of a logical response to it. So a really good technique is, if you have had that, if you do have that sort of emotional stress, try thinking about it, really go into depth and sort of live that thought and that feelings, but at the same time holding those points there. And I said, what will actually happen? Normally it can happen quite quickly, maybe a couple of minutes or so, but sometimes it can take 5 to 10 minutes depending on how how stressed you are about it. But you will actually find after a couple of minutes or so, or 5 or 10 minutes, you actually won't be able to think about that stressor anymore. So even though that emotional stressor will actually still be there, you won't actually get that same emotional response. So it will actually stop affecting your stomach, and you'll actually get more of a logical response to it as well. And then you'll be thinking, why am I worried about something like that? It's a really, really interesting technique, and it works really, really well. Another good thing it's really useful for children, and what you can do is the same sort of principle, basically putting your hand on the forehead there and the other hand at the back of the neck. So if you've got a child who is maybe particularly has a nightmare or had a really bad day at school, or kids get stressed a lot these days, it's a really, really useful technique to do. But also it's actually quite it's quite a nurturing type of feeling. It's really lovely for them because they make them feel safe. But you just try doing that as well. It works really, really well for children of all ages. And I offer it quite a lot to a lot of my clients as well, because it's a really good technique to use. But the more you use it, the more the actual response doesn't go down to the stomach, it actually stays up in the head as well. So you do tend to get more of a logical response to any other stressor you've got. So that's my little technique to give you some help with any stress that you have. It's called the emotional stress release point. And if you need any help and advice, please get back to me. Let me know how you get on with it. Take care. Bye bye.